All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm up early because I got to finish an article, which I care about very much. And it's an assignment. I went to a city council meeting, and I have to do like we're learning how to write articles about different things, and one of them is a city council meeting. And one of the main topics of homelessness was a running theme. I say it's like a running theme because our mayor has implemented a plan to absolve or at least alleviate the homeless situation in Fresno, California, because there's a lot more people that are becoming homeless right now. And there was I'll just explain a little bit before while you guys come in because well, there's two people here already, but hey Charles, good morning. Good morning. Here in California, Gavin Newsom gave about $16 million to, during COVID time, convert some of the motels into homeless shelters. And honestly, it's called Project Home Key. And the goal is to, the person who goes into the program stays there for a year. They have caseworkers that help the person get integrated into permanent low income housing. And some of those low income housing facilities are being built. What they're doing is they're taking those after the year is up or so, they get another grant and another type of funding to make those into more permanent housing units with studios, apartments, one bedroom apartments, etc. However, only 20% of those apartments are actually going to be, available for low income people. And when I read the action, I was really kind of taken aback by that. There was 38 units available, and only 7 of them would be offered for the low income person. And of course, when you have low income housing, you've got to get, you're on a list, and it's a hard to get into. So anyway, the topic matters to me because at one time I stayed in one of those Project Home Key motels. And because like when I first went to Fresno City College, when I decided to go back to college 2 years ago, I had a period of time where I lost my housing, and I was finishing my finals in a Motel 6. Okay. And there's a program at Fresno City College called the Hope Program, which helps students that have been, that end up homeless while they're in school. And I got placed into that housing at that time. I'm not in it anymore. I'm self-sufficient now. But I am a success story of that program. And where they're going to be building at is a motel called Park Inn Motel out here in Fresno, and that's where they're going to re-renovate. And right now, a lot of the people in the Project Home Key program are living there. And I know that when I was at this other place living, they relocated a lot of the people who hadn't transitioned yet. Very few. I'm finding that I'm the exception. Like I'm a success story, but the majority of my perception kind of are struggling, and they just, some people just live in the system, and they they don't really care about, they're just kind of like living, right? They're not really going back to school or learning a new skill or trying, working with their caseworker to, they're mostly just like, well, I'll just go to the next motel that's going to be open to me. And then there are some people, there's another woman that also was going to culinary school, and she was working on her getting her life. She actually spoke. She called in and spoke and talked about Project Home Key and gave her opinion 'cause she's still over at Parkit. She did not transition like I did into an actual apartment. And so I was concerned. I'm concerned that that once this property gets rebuilt, they get this funding, the $3 million, right? Where are those people going to go? Where are they going? Are they going to end up on the streets? And one of the things that I did, gain from going to the council meeting was that the Project Home Key the funds are gone. It's the whole state of California, right? So the funds there's only about a year and a half left for people to live in in that kind of situation. Hi, Paul Shields. I know you're here to hear about David Shurter, but I was just, I got to finish this article this morning, so it's on my mind, and you came in. Okay, so I called the dispatcher. I called today. I first I called last night. I thought, I'm over this. Because David Shurter is, and I pointed it out, and he's used the same graphic again after I know that I left comments on his channel. I've also said it on my community page. People have come to his defense on this and said, "Oh well, it's just the other number in his phone, and it doesn't mean that he was trying to misrepresent the information." But every graphic I've seen where he's pointing up he's always pointing at his graphic behind him. Sheriff, I'm calling Sheriff Neil Gross. Here's the number. Blah 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 blah. And I know I'm making him sound kind of foolish right now. I'm not making him sound good. It's just, forgive me, it just comes out that way. And in the note, and I dialed it on my stream, okay? And that number that he keeps pointing at his screen goes to PayPal, not the sheriff that he is saying that he's reporting everybody to. And all this, Sheriff Neil Gross, right? So I looked it up. It's not hard to find out if he's saying, Harlan County, and then the name of the sheriff's office, and who it is. Eventually on the internet you're going to find the real number, which I did. And I called yesterday, probably on California time. I think it was around between 5 and 5:30, and they were already closed for the day. There were no you have to call between 8 and 5 or something like that if you want to talk to one of the sheriffs. And I gave them the information, and then they said, "Could you hold on for a second?" And I was like, "Okay." And then they said, "All right, well, we'll have somebody call you." This was last night. And I said, "Okay." And they go, "It's going to probably come from a blocked or, number, but, make sure that you are, that you can answer it and this and that, just be on the alert that you're not going to see a number flash on the screen," basically is what they said. And I said, "Okay, fine. Okay, great." And then I hung up, and then they called me back and they said, "No, could you actually call back in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning? And, just call, because there's no one here right now. Just call back tomorrow." And I said, "Okay." So I did. Right at 8 o'clock in the morning, I just watched one of his videos, right? And I was like, oh, I just, oh. And so I called. No, I haven't spoke with the sheriff yet, but they are going to call me back. But here's what's interesting about it. When I mentioned David Shurter and I said he's been saying things about me on his YouTube channel, oh, the dispatcher knew right away. She's like, "Oh, okay." There was this kind of oh, yeah, we know about him. It was that kind, yeah, I was told that I'm not the first person that's called him. And I said, "Well, you know what? I'm a journalism student at Fresno State University, and I'm just worried that you guys think that what he's saying, that I'm guilty of a crime or something, and that is just not." She goes, "Oh no, No, no. Like, she didn't say it like that, but she's like, "Oh, no, don't worry about that. No, we know, like, but we'll make sure that somebody calls you." So that's very interesting to get that kind of response from the dispatcher, from his sheriff's department, that he keeps claiming and acting like he's holding over our head, like, "I'm gonna report you to these people because you're murdering so and so and blah 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 blah." Right? So, oh, John says, they knew who he was, didn't they? Yes, they knew who he was. Yes. She made some sort of comment going, "Yeah, that's what happens on YouTube." I mean, they are aware. Yes, that's what was surprised. Well, I don't know if it was surprised. I shouldn't have been surprised, but I tell you, I was a bit relieved when I'm surprised they don't have a diagnosed line to call just to report that idiot. No one wants to deal with them. No, yeah, right. They draw straws on who's going to deal with him. It should give you some comfort now that they are aware of him and that he's just yeah, a weirdo. Yeah. Eventually they will get tired of it and then go after him legally. Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, to get a reaction like that means that they know what he's up to, and look how much time has to be wasted in their sheriff's department over this. Like, this is not a high alert crime. This is not, I mean, it's uncomfortable. I mean, it like, but for him to be sitting there calling the sheriffs and falsely accusing them, it's a waste of their time. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So, I was just gonna give like a quick update really on this. I mean, I'm gonna make it a real short. I mean, well, why not? Let's just look at Shurter's video for a moment this morning, which was yesterday and this morning. He's just been especially, like, just angry, like, this energy of him. I can't even, like, I gotta turn the volume down because I'm over it, man. I don't know about you guys. And then he's going, "I know you guys are getting entertainment about this." I'm not entertained. The only reason why I tune in is because I'm like, "Okay, what did he say about me today?" I'm just checking to see what's being said because I'm keeping a track of things. So, but here, let me pull. You guys might have already seen this, but here's the latest. Where am I here? I got lots of windows open. Where did my wow, what happened here? Am I still streaming? Wait. What? Okay. This is weird. Oh, here I am. What? Okay. Oh, I'm getting a call. Hello?
Hi, is this Teresa?
Yes, it is.
Teresa, this is Deputy Old, the Shelby County Sheriff's Office in Iowa. How are you?
Well, I've been better, but I'm good. How are you?
All right. So tell me what's going on with this YouTube video, or
Okay, what's happening is there's a person that lives in your, because I'm in Fresno, so there's a person that lives in your area named David Shurter.
Yep.
And he is making a lot of accusations about people, but he's really included me in it. And I'm getting like, I'm a pedo protector, and I'm a part of a group of people that are going against him and trying to, kill him. And I don't know, he's just said a lot of real he's maliciously, I see it as being maliciously malicious defamation against me on his YouTube channel. And because of the seriousness of the allegations, I just wanted to make contact with you to verify that I'm not guilty of any of these crimes. I have, a clean my record, my background, I have a clean background. I've had my fingers print. I've done fingerprinting for job. I've been cleared for jobs that I've worked. I've worked government jobs myself.
Okay.
So
I guess what kind of crimes are they talking about?
He is okay. First of all, he is talking about a person named Thomas Schoenberger, who is not as far well in I feel see I'm a person who's being cyber stalked by the same individual and a group of people. It may not be hard. I don't know if you're aware of how YouTube works or social media, but there is they call it targeted chaos. It's done on purpose on people, like whomever a particular group, or let's say, how do I explain this to you? I guess maybe the best way to explain it is there's an article in the Daily Beast. It's about Seth Rich and wiretapping, and they mentioned Thomas Schellenberger and a man named DeFango in it. And in the article, it said that they were offering Ed Butowski, who's the article was about. He was actually investigating the Seth Rich happening with the Rich family on Fox News, was being harassed, was getting bad press. So something that they offered them was something called they called it targeted chaos through a company called Shadowbox. And one of the people that are involved in that is a guy named Thomas Schellenberger. And I believe that he's still sewing, or the group of people that do that, they're still doing it to certain people who have YouTube channels. I have a YouTube channel, and I had made contact with Thomas Schellenberger at some point, and I felt like I was being, I don't know, like having people who would talk to me as themselves, and then all of a sudden they would be talking to me in a sock puppet account that I wouldn't know as them. That was the first turnoff with them. And when I broke away from him, I have been like, I've had to call my own police. I've gotten threats from his group. I've had they have videos of the inside of my apartment. They have, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I've been threatened of having somebody coming to meet me at the college that I go to. I had one of the individuals named Denise Mattow call my job and to harass me. And after that happened, I made a report with the campus police. So yeah, and David Shurter, somehow this Thomas Schellenberger guy got a hold of David Shurter, and there's another individual named Isaac Cappy who was on the internet, made some really big claims that some big celebrities were involved with a child trafficking or harming children, and it was, a lot of us have watched what happened, and he died mysteriously. And so Thomas Schellenberger has been blaming a couple of people that I think that he's got a beef with them. So I think he's falsely accusing them, saying that they are responsible for Isaac's death, and that they're not pedo people and this and that. And so David Shurter went on his channel and just started reiterating an attack against these individuals, alongside another channel called Dregs of YouTube 2, which is also they interviewed Thomas Schellenberger, and they have numerous videos of me on their channel. They have accused me of being the daughter of Hitler. I wasn't even alive when Hitler could have reproduced, right? So so it's just all this stuff. So they were that channel, the Thomas Schellenberger channel, was backing him. And I got a tip from somebody who is close to that circle of people, that the Thomas Schoenberger group, that he sent me an email and he said, David Shurter's going to come after you. Like as if it was a plan that I was the next person on the list. At which point I tried to reach out to him on TikTok. We have a mutual person that he talks about a lot. And so I was using, I went, hey, you talk about Max Spears. I interviewed him at one time. You know, I'm close to his mom. If you want to vet me, find out my character, who I am. And I was just trying to, you know, let him realize that he's getting played at what this is. And then how it ended up was that he started communicating with me. He showed me a graphic of how of him. See, he showed me a graphic where he actually received donations from Thomas Schellenberger, which that kind of like bothered me because you know, Thomas, there is a flow of money. These people that target people, there's a flow of money that happens to them, so they're being paid. So in my mind, when he was getting paid for Thomas Schellenberger, I saw him as being part of them. And I saw that as being deceitful. He does ask for donations a lot on his channel for what he does. But I showed it. I showed it on my channel. And once that happened, I was just like on his list. And he turned around. And one of the things that this group does, because when they ritually defame you, all these different people say the same things on their channel. And a long time ago, like 10 years ago, I used to sometimes wear hair pieces or wigs or whatever. So they keep going on about how I wear a wig and my current hair right now is not real. And we had a bit of a conversation with each other in on TikTok. I can do a screenshot of it where he says, wow, they're obsessed with your hair. Why are they like that? And I responded. And then before I showed his actually, this happened before I showed his accepting donations from Thomas. All of a sudden, boom, he was like saying I was wearing a wig, and he was, saying that I was a pedo protector, and now he just won't stop. He keeps including. Now I'm with Thomas. Now I'm against him with Thomas because they broke apart. So he keeps changing the narrative, and I've reached out to him several times. He keeps saying Neil Gross and pointing that he's reporting all of us, and so I'm calling about this situation. I don't know what you can do for me, but I just want to be transparent and let you know that I'm not guilty of what he's accusing of, or maybe is possibly including me in his phone calls.
Well, he doesn't communicate really with us at all. He doesn't care for us. In fact, he's got a bunch of conspiracies in regards to our sheriff. So I'd take everything with a grain of salt. I would not worry about it. It's more or less him just, getting his word out there for nothing, for nobody to really care for, really. So that's how I'd take it. I wouldn't be too concerned.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a relief. And, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today.
No, you're welcome. I mean, if there's anything, further from him as far as like imminent threats or anything like that to your life or something, where there's obviously some danger that's involved, let us know, and we can definitely confront him and, go that route with it. And if you think there is something at some point that is, really defamatory or anything along those lines, and you think you might be interested in getting a lawyer and getting a hold of us to do something, and let us know. But I know it's not TikTok, I guess. And I've never seen his TikToks, but I've seen some of his YouTube videos in regards to our sheriff, and he's pretty far-fetched individual. He's got a lot going on in his head, and about 98% of the things he says, I think, are more or less his assumptions and not based on actual facts. So
yeah, I agree with you on that.
Well, yeah. Well, if, like I said, though, something does end up coming up, just let us know and we'll look into it. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome, Teresa. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. Wow, that's ironic, isn't it? And guess what? The number showed up on my screen, so I knew it was the sheriff. But yeah, I guess I'll conclude the live stream on that. Why show his video? That's a relief, right? So they're not, wow. Well, that's very reassuring. That's all I can say. That is, I think I'm going to finish out with my song. Why not, right? Wow. That was something else. Okay, here we go. Oh, wait. Let me go back. I didn't do the screen share. I would have only enjoyed it and you would just be sitting there. I don't know. I haven't looked at the chat, actually. Maybe I should, there's 4 comments. Wow. We know Jesse, but wow. Okay, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, hi, Jesse. Good morning. Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad to see you guys here. All right, have a great day. Wow. I'm still shoot. Where did I put that at? I've got so many docs open. What? I've never had that happen before. I have a lot of screens open right now. Okay, there it is. All right, here we go. Okay. Save my soul. Wait. Downtown. We're downtown. Come on to save my soul. We're not downtown. We're not downtown. We're not downtown. Pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Save my soul. Oh, pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Oh, pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Oh, pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. Pop, save my soul. We're not
downtown. Went up downtown. I was walking out one evening, moon was rising high, headed for the riverside, around this fuss and fight.